The book that I chose for the book report was Nudge: Improving Decisions About Health, Wealth, and Happiness. I chose this book because as a marketing undergrad, it is always fascinating to see what people are using to influence consumers into buying their product. This book took the same principles I learned in undergrad and put them into perspective in many areas of life. In the prelude to the first part of the book, it mentioned an example of how to assist children into picking better foods when in line at lunch. This idea that displaying food in a certain way can influence choices was amazing to read. It was a good way to bring up the idea of a choice architect, someone who plans a path for someone to make a decision. The first part of the book goes through many aspects of life and how companies and the government can influence people. It was interesting to see that the government has used a theory that basically says the majority, say 70% of people, are conserving energy. You should too, has worked for people to be more conscious of their energy usage. We all just want to fit in and be among the majorities. In that same example, the government had used emoticons to show whether their energy in the person's home was in good standing, something that my mom does in her kindergarten class. But it worked. People want to have that happy face when it comes to a grading-like system. In part 2 of the book, we learned about money. Definitely interesting to read for a 20-something young adult. I have thought about saving for retirement and investing, but have yet to do either. It's hard to budget life and get the most out of your money. I have taken the save more tomorrow idea into many aspects of my life. Like the book said, people not only save for saving, but for dieting, grocery shopping, many aspects until it's too late. I felt bad for the gentleman that earned retirement money or bonuses in the form of Enron stock. If it is all you have known, it is definitely hard to change, but some people want to trust in the company they work for. People don't think of the bad that could happen, and who would want to? Part 3 was a little bit more over my head. I'm still under my parents' health insurance, so I haven't quite grasped the concept of health insurance and the differences between all the options, but it was an easier way to understand the options. What I most connected with was the idea of the default options and how people are less likely to opt out than to switch for the opposing option. I think that having organ donation as a primary option is a good way to get more people interested in the program. Part 4 and 5 were interesting. What stuck out to me in Part 4 was the marriage section. Their idea of privatizing marriage makes sense and could be very beneficial to a lot of people. However, I don't see that happening anytime soon. It would be great to see so that those who want to make the commitment to one another can, but as humans, we are very stuck in our ways. In Part 5, they described other ways of nudging, and to me, I think those nudges can almost make life easier. The charity debit card was a great way to keep track because I know that when it comes to time for tax season, I have no idea how much I donated. Some of the other nudges just seem like common sense, like wearing a helmet while you go on a motorcycle. That makes sense to me. All in all, the book was a lot of fun to read. Nudges seem to be all around us and we don't even know it. Some nudges seem to be a part of our automatic system that we can't help, like the option to push a door open rather than pull, and the type of handle can influence whether we want to push or pull. And the fact that one of the authors has even done it himself was even better. I want to see if I can start noticing the nudges in my life and see if I can't make more decisions almost spontaneously. I really enjoyed the book and reading about how life is influenced by nudges and heuristics and how many people actually sit there and think about the way people think and your automatic system versus your reflective system. When a ball is thrown at me, I want to duck. I don't necessarily want to try and catch it, but I do so anyways. It was very interesting, and the way they wrote it, it definitely made it easier to understand. It was less textbooky, which is awesome. I definitely will suggest this to many people to see if they can find the same examples and to see if they can start noticing it in their own lives. Thank you.